Thank you, everyone. When I was 11 years old, I fell in love with comedy. It was largely inspired by an amazing drama teacher named Gina Monte. I was going off into this spiral of stand-up and humor essays and long-form improv and short-form improv, etc., etc., etc. I was having a blast and not looking back. And finally, one day, Miss Monte said something that gave me pause. As a class, we were all talking about the real world. And she goes, well, if you want to go into comedy, it helps to be a good writer, especially if you're a girl. Because if you're a girl, there sure as hell won't be anyone who will do it for you. Now, there might be a couple of audience members right now who are kind of confused. Because, one, feminists aren't funny. They're too busy growing their leg hair to tell jokes. Two, do feminists even do stuff anymore? And three, C1. And on that day, my love of comedy merged with my life of feminism. Actually, that's what they have to do with each other. They've gone hand in hand for years. 40 years ago, when Saturday Night Live was starting up, John Belushi refused to do sketches written by women. At the read-throughs, he would mumble through lines so no one could hear the punchlines. Women writers were forced to submit sketches under the names of their male coworkers. Unfortunately, this idea of girls aren't funny is a persisting one. In this last year, stand-up and podcaster Adam Carolla was quoted as basically saying, "The least funny members of a writing staff are always the women. Yes, there are standouts like Tina Fey, but you gotta play the odds. It's like in basketball. Who are you gonna pick for your team? The brother or the guy with the yarmulke?" Very inspiring, I know. And this is on the lighter sides of how things are for women in comedy. Also this past year, stand-up Gabby Dunn released an article through the Huffington Post detailing her experiences being sexually harassed while performing on stage. Now, I was 12 years old when I had this women's rights epiphany, and all of a sudden I started questioning everything. Why doesn't dad stay home instead of mom? Why did I think my only two options for a favorite color were pink and purple until I was 10 years old? Why is Barbie so skinny? The typical. And even after all this pesky thinking, I was still not referring to myself as the F word, feminist. Because feminists are dirty. I was afraid that when I started calling myself a feminist, I would have a Bruce Banner to Hulk-like transformation, where all of a sudden my body hair would grow at unprecedented speeds and my boobs would sag from burning all of my bras, and there would be frown lines magically appearing on my face from yelling all the time about how much men suck. Now, unfortunately, in identifying as a feminist, I did not also become an Avenger. Yet. The truth is, anyone's a feminist. Because all you have to do to be a feminist is believe that there should be equality between the genders. And yes, there are unfortunately still blocks to that road. I'm sure we've all heard of the immense amount of photoshopping done in advertisements on women. And while that is an incredibly worthy topic, it is only a smaller reflection of a larger issue. There's sexism nestled in every corner of media. Take movies, for example. Most female characters are really there just to be the sister or girlfriend or annoying wife of the male protagonist. Even in romantic comedies, a genre largely driven by women, the plot usually consists of the work-obsessed woman being taught how to love life by her scruffy male coworker. She is the lead, yes, but she's being defined by a man. If you watch kids' movies, if there's a girl present among the ragtag group of neighborhood misfits, her only trait is, wow, maybe not all girls suck after all. Maybe they can be one of the guys. Because this girl loses all semblance to femininity, she's accepted. Feminism has evolved beyond just advocating for women in media. It is now about advocating for femininity. Even in pseudo-progressive films with a female protagonist, she's usually incredibly masculine. Femininity, a trait sometimes falsely associated with women, has come to be seen as a trait for second-class citizens. Now, this is once again on the lighter side of what feminists have to deal with. The year is 2012, and even though President Barack Obama has signed the Lilly Ledbetter Act for equal pay, women still make 77 cents to every dollar a man makes when doing the same job. Even though women are, on average, going further than men in education, out of the 1,200 or so billionaires on this planet, approximately 14 of them are self-made women. Now, there are inherent issues with the wealthiest group of people on the planet being made up almost 98% of one group. The issue is that the subordinate group will immediately and invariably lose choices on how to live their life. I don't understand why people think men and women are already equal when, by March, 2012 was being called the War on Women. When there was an all-male birth control panel in Congress, when Planned Parenthood has been attacked over and over again, and when a senator doesn't know how basic biology works. The truth is, this is one of the most highly developed nations on the planet, and even here, approximately 1 in 4 women will be raped within their lifetime. Now, I don't bring this up because I am a feminist, so of course I want to kill the mood, but because it is a reflection on a larger issue. When women aren't being represented in the most powerful groups of people on the planet, either in the wealthy or in government or even in media, of course there will be violence towards women. It is easier to perform atrocities on a group of people who you see as less than human. Now, I don't say this all because I think I know how to solve all of the problems because I'm 15 and read The Feminine Mystique one time. Just because I'm young doesn't mean I can't have an informed opinion, and that goes to every student in the audience right now. As the next generation, we have to make sure that we aren't living in a world where inequality runs rampant. We have to make sure that inequality is of the past, that we can condemn rape as a society and make things like harassment and abuse myths. And in doing this, and living in a world where feminism isn't the punchline, we as a world will move forward. When there are more women who are using their higher degrees in work, there will be more major breakthroughs. The world will be moving forward at a faster pace. We, as the young people, have to do this because there sure as hell won't be anyone who will do it for us. Thank you.